I want to shift and talk a little bit about the impact of this on the mega tech, kind of the mega cap tech world. You look at these big mega cap tech companies, they've had such an impact on business and the world. Do you think that the balance of power among these big cap companies is shifting? If you look at, what AI does in terms of adding to capabilities and allowing people to change or think about their business models differently, how does that landscape evolve?
There's a limit to how quickly these folks can change. At one point last year, you would know better than I, 25% of the market value of the S&P was 6 companies, which were the tech companies, which shows you how crazy it got. And if you look at the 2 leaders right now, which are Apple and Microsoft at roughly $2-3 trillion.
Well, I guess off the top of my head, they're 12 to 13% between the 2 of them.
Yeah, think about it.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Yeah.
So the stakes matter, especially to investors, but also obviously to the companies. So in the case of Apple, they've not really exploited the power of generative AI yet. The obvious case is to replace Siri by something which is much more capable. But I think we don't know how they're going to do yet. Remember, they're not trying to solve the general intelligence problem. They're trying to solve the problem of getting you to love their products more, which means they're going to have different solutions in different parts of their businesses. In Microsoft's case, they've made a huge investment, I think around $13 billion in OpenAI, and they started by saying, let's make programmers more productive. There's evidence that if you use the Microsoft tools, the computer writes roughly half the code that gets written. So in other words, think of it as me plus the computer is like 2 me's, right? And probably this computer has different and maybe better skills in some cases. That's a big deal. Doubling the productivity of programmers, which I think is the first thing that Microsoft has done, is a real win. The next thing that all of these companies are going to do, I'll give you a simple example. I had to write a memo about AI to the president, and I don't write very well. So I wrote the memo with lots of details, and I sent it to GPT-4, and I said, rewrite this, don't change the math, okay? It wrote it, and then I sent it to the president because it was so much better written, and the math didn't change. Now, what's the value to me of that? A lot.
Yeah.
Right? To you, to any of
Absolutely.
us, just make it better. Those will be completely embedded in the workflow. So they'll be in Word and Excel, they'll be in Gmail, they're already in G Drive and so forth. And that just makes us smarter. The next step is where they go from helping me to generating what I should be doing, right? That's the big next leap. Now, for you as a CEO, you have these incredibly highly paid, highly talented, highly educated people. You want to increase their productivity. You don't want them typing, you want them thinking. So the ideal scenario is that the computer is working with them, understands them well, highly targeted to what they do, and says, consider this, right? So imagine a situation where when you're doing search or doing research, not only does it suggest what you asked, but it asks the question, offers the questions you should have asked and the answer. I would love it when I'm in a conversation with somebody, I always say, well, here's my idea, what do you think? What I really want is the computer to say to the computer, here's my idea, and the computer says, here are the facts that support your position, here are some alternative theses that you should consider, and here's why they might be relevant. That would make me so much smarter.
Yeah. So, you're basically talking about this being completely integrated into everybody's operating system.
Exactly.